Hello and welcome to Euphoria. I'm creating a building for my Lego city. It's an old astronomical clock tower that sits in the centre of the town and is a historical landmark and tourist attraction. This is the second of the more detailed looks at building this tower to show you how I built it and how it went together. Today I'm going to continue the build of this MOC by building the middle level of the building, which should fit onto the ground floor, which I made in the first part of this build. So let's start today's build. So of course, with an upper floor of the building, you're not building directly onto the base plate. So what I need to do first of all is make the floor of the building. Now there are different ways of making the floors for a modular building, but I like to do it in a way in which the whole floor is built as one piece, and I build the floor out of two layers of plates. So there's one layer that goes underneath and reinforces the actual floor of the building and also follows the outline of the wall all the way around, so that the floor is supported all the way around the edge, and it's also supported across any walls or arches that are in the internal part of the ground floor build. So that's completed the floor for the next level of the building. As you can see, it's a complete floor but with a hole where the stairs come up, and it's completed all the way around on the outside, so there are no gaps. Underneath, a little bit ugly because of the strange shape here, but it does provide support to all the joins in the plates, and also it will sit, hopefully, on the walls of the ground floor. So let's check that out now, make sure that it fits on properly before we start building the walls and the other parts of this level. So here's the ground floor that I built in part one. This is designed to fit onto here, clip on with just a couple of studs, and pretty much fits all the way round. Yep. It also provides these continuation of these columns at the front of the building, and it provides the stairwell for the minifigs to get up to this level. So now I can start on the walls. So knowing that that fits on here, I'll take it off again and start on the walls. So I'm building this from the computer model that I made in the design stages. Although I've prototyped some of this build using bricks that I already had, this is the first time that I've built this model from the actual bricks as designed in the computer model. I've designed the walls where possible to overlap the floor plates, so there's additional binding, adding strength to the build. So here I've used two window frames as a kind of balustrade, and this will be the start of the narrow wooden staircase leading up to the top floor of the building. And so that's the first level of the walls done. So now we'll carry on building up the walls on the outside of the building. One of the most difficult bits to design was the corner tower, largely because the octagonal shape of the tower limited the choice of bricks I could use, and made it difficult to achieve a strong binding between the parts. But I was keen to use the panel pieces from the Harry Potter sets to give this feature of the building its distinctive shape. Now I can put in the clock mechanism for the astronomical clock. I wanted to provide something inside the building that looks like it could be a mechanism for the astronomical clock, and so I devised this frame with gears and a couple of wheels and dials to indicate its operation. Although it won't be very visible, I wanted to provide a proper interior for the building. On this level of the building is the timekeeper's office. So I made some items of furniture for the office, including a bookcase, a desk and a clock, and placed them in position. The rest of the floor is a museum about the history of the clock and about timekeeping. For the museum, I provided some display boards and a couple of display cases with important artifacts in them, but I'm still looking for some suitable stickers for these display boards. So now I can finish off the walls for this floor of the building. So now we've got up to the right level, I can put all the windows in, arches around the tower and at the front, with some square windows at the back. Now the walls have got to a certain level, with the lintels over all the windows. I can start to put the binding layer around the top of all the walls that will give it the strength, bind all these arches together, and it will really start to finish off the walls of this level of the building. To get to the top floor of the building, you need to climb this narrow wooden staircase. To achieve this, I built the staircase into the wall of the building, which makes it only 3 studs wide. Once that's in, I can finish off building the walls in that end of the building. At the top of the walls, I've created this overhang using inverted slope bricks, and they help to give the building its medieval character. So now that I've completed all the walls, I can tile the top of this layer so it separates it from the floor that sits on the top of this one, which is the upper floor and the roof. So that's the walls and tiling completed for this level. Now I just need to add some external details to finish off the build. One of the main features of this level of the building, in fact of the whole building, is the astronomical clock at the front. I represented the various elements of an astronomical clock using these circular plates and various tiles. including some small circular ones that were meant to be eyes but work really well as the moon and planets. I can set it into various configurations by rotating the outer and inner circles of the clock face. The smaller little clock is from the Harry Potter clock tower set, and I've added a sun indicator hand to the main astronomical clock that can swing across the face of this clock. The downpipes are made from various lengths of rod and joined with the lightsaber shaft pieces, and they clip in on all four corners of the building. So that's the second part of this tower completed. It went together pretty well because I was able to follow the design. All the parts fitted together as planned, and the model looks exactly how I envisaged it. I hope you enjoyed watching me build this part of the MOC. Look out for the next video, in which I'll be showing the build of the top level of the tower and finishing off the build of this MOC. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Let YouTube know if you liked it by pressing the like button, and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos about LEGO modular buildings.